All right, so interesting little tee drill we've got going on there, Tatum. One outside the toe of the golf club
Yep.
and one on the inside of the heel. I'm guessing we're working on contact on this one.
Yep. Centerness of contact. Sometimes when we're making a full swing, you're thinking about a million other things except centerness of contact. Um, so these tees actually give us just a really good visualization of something to focus on other than what's going on in every other part of our golf swing. So this actually will psychologically force you to kind of keep that club face in the same area that it started in without having to think about how you can
Mm,
do that in the actual swing. So really good for beginners, but even I've heard Tiger Woods does this drill all the time too. So
yeah, yeah.
all levels of
All
golfers.
levels of golf. All right, so rattle another one off for me and we'll have a look at this as that club comes through impact.
Yeah, I'm also only doing this with a half swing because again, I'm not focusing on what's going on at the top of my backswing or in my follow through. I just want to focus on kind of like hip to hip,
Perfect.
back and through, and trying to hit those as clean as possible.
It's something that we see so much with recreational golfers, right? Is they'll tend to work on inherently wildly complex parts of the golf
hmm
swings. And this right here is a perfect skill development exercise.
Yeah,
So one of the fundamentals of playing better golf is hitting the center of the face.
yeah.
And doing a drill like this, I've given some lessons to, let's say, players who shoot in the 80s or high 80s,
hmm
and they don't even, or the awareness of where the ball strikes the face isn't really as attuned as what we would think that they would need, right?
Yeah.
So a drill like this, let's say someone was shanking it, right? Which of these tees would they hit?
Probably that little guy right out there.
Right on the outside,
Right
okay?
on the hosel. Yeah, and people will be so surprised. I'll have them do this and they're like, well, surely I'm not going to hit either of those tees. And then they completely hit that tee and it flies out of the sky and into the air. So it's also good as an instructor to have this because it gives you the evidence that sometimes they don't see. Because you might say, oh, I think you hit that one pretty far on the heel, or I
Yeah,
think you hit that one on the toe. And they're like, there's no way. But then you show that they hit the
perfect,
tee out of the ground.
perfect.
So it's good.
And we always use feedback in our lessons, and we usually show people their swing after filming it when we're doing an analysis, and they go, was that last swing? It
Yeah.
doesn't look anything like it.
Yeah.
But this can essentially be an even better form of feedback because players can do this without setting up the perfect camera angles
hmm
like we've got here.
Yeah.
And what I want you to do is purposely hit one of the tees. And what we'll do is we'll slow down Tatum's impact so we can see what part of the club she's going to hit. What are you going to hit? The hosel?
Yeah, I'll try one of
All
those.
right,
These are
stick my
always
leg out here. Off you go.
always a good feeling.
Perfect. And you can see that one just dove straight out of the air. Lucky you didn't have enough speed for that to shoot off of my leg.
Don't know
But
where that was gonna go.
but we've knocked that tee out. So
Mhm.
if a player was doing that, they were shanking at Tatum, what would you suggest? Because sometimes putting two tees like that might be a little bit too challenging for
Mhm.
them. What would you suggest the player who set that up for the first time,
Yeah.
they kept hitting that outside tee, what would you get them to maybe do a step one drill of this?
Step one drill, I guess it depends on what's causing them to hit the outside of the tee, but honestly, sometimes the most simple thing is just removing one of the tees
Great.
and just having them focus on. I did this earlier today in a lesson. Instead, she kept hitting the outside tee and she kept hitting it in the hosel and everything was going low and right. So we just completely removed that tee and just kept this tee in the ground. And then I actually had her feel as if she was going to hit this tee coming in, and then she started getting them closer to the club face when she felt like she was going to start hitting it on the toe. But for her personally, she just had a very inside out swing path, which was causing that with a wide open club face.
Hmm.
So a few things, but trying to keep it simple is always good.
And really, at the end of the day, if players are coming for a lesson, if they can take one tangible takeaway
hmm
from that lesson that they can work on, and regardless of the reason of why they might be hitting the hosel,
hmm
if they can stick a tee, what do we got? Maybe another golf ball width on the inside,
hmm
and simply just focus on clipping the tee and the ball at the same time, that's a perfect type of feedback for players to get that is really going to reinforce a better movement. And you'll
Yeah.
probably find that the adjustments that they maybe needed to make,
hmm
which would have taken them weeks and weeks and
Yeah.
weeks and YouTube videos and everything
Yeah.
in between trying to figure out, that they could solve their contact for
Yeah.
5 minutes before they're about to go out and play.
Yeah, definitely. Instead of trying to explain to a beginner golfer their club path and club face awareness and all of that, saying, "Oh, you were 10 degrees inside out on this one. Feel out," and there, that's just too much information. So
Yeah.
this is a good visual for them to have.
Love it. All right,
Yeah.
so what I want to see on this one is you swing through, we're going to hit the tee and the ball at the same time.
All right.
Absolutely perfect. So there we have it, guys. We're out at the Crosby here in San Diego, and we're working on club face strike, ensuring you're getting that contact right out of the center of the club. If you're hitting too much on the hosel or the toe of the golf club, put a tee on either side, and it can help you with the quality of your golf shots.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.